Oi. Oh, please. Can you hear me? Is the audio good? Got mayo. That's right. Just saying, you know what I mean? Pay it up. Pull the head up. What's up, Neil? Josh, Stevie. Howdy. Dudes, look at this. That's a burn. This is a burn. Wait, this one. Right there. That's a burn. Got the tiniest little burns from this little guy. Alright, can y'all hear me? Is everything good? Henry, howdy. Also, ow, listening to music because I'm not monetized. So I can do that kind of stuff. Miracle Whip. By the way, can y'all hear me? Nobody said anything yet. Do I have to check YouTube? Hello? Oh, there we go. Alright, we have audio. Yes, we can hear. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Stevie. Ugh. Alright. Howdy, blessed. Henry, howdy. I said hello. Maddie, hi. So, for those who are joining, I've been working on some stuff and have to clean my screen, you know what I mean? So, I want to know the Matt, howdy. All right. So here's the thing, okay? For those that don't know, I'm working on the Spectra V3s, although they're not going to be called V3 when they come out, you know what I mean? They'll just be Spectras, but I'm working on the the new Spectras. And I need to know what configuration you guys would like to see, okay? So I already have like 4 nailed down pretty good. Let me see. Hold on. All right, cuz I don't want to, you know what I mean? Don't want to show off something I don't want to show y'all. So I think I've just airdropped them to myself. They're on my phone, but my phone's on the charger. So anyways, is this pre-recorded? Yes, this is pre-recorded. You're right. Okay, so this one is it's a stone wash with a brass inlay option. Okay, it's not my favorite, but it looks pretty good. Okay, so it's gonna be hard to remember all of the configurations I'm gonna show you guys, but just bear with me. If my pen would like to cooperate, that would be great. Please. Can the pen connect, please? All right. We'll do it without it. I won't be fancy. All right. So anyways, this is brass, okay? Brass stonewash, right? And I should have just saved the pictures, but so we'll close that one. Close this one. This is actually for the bright one. Then that's the brass inlay. So I have this a crystallized titanium look, right? So here's the crystallized titanium look. Okay. So there's one version I want to do that is actually blue, like this one. So blue with a polished blade, like this, kind of real pretty looking, you know? But the thing is, I want to have a plain Jane version, right? So if I do a PJ version, I would rather it be raw titanium, right? Um, and I don't want to do both. So, but the blue looks really good. So, let me actually. It'll just be easier if I show you guys the phone because you can see all the options and I don't have to try to deal with all the. What's up with the sound? Omega, howdy. It's the hot dog man. All right, bear with me. Okay. So, this one I really dig. It is dark washed everywhere. And these are just renders, so the actual finishes are going to change depending on how the company does them. But this one's really sick. So this is green micarta inlays with the super dark wash uh you know finish. This is the one I was showing y'all. It's not this polished in the whatever, right? But so crystallized titanium, uh frosted satin blade steel or polished blade steel, whatever. This one is the just regular stonewash with the brass. I do like this one, but I'm not a fan of brass, and brass is heavy. And then here are the actual, like, so here's another one. So this one I dig the way this one looks. Um I think would be like a bead blast and then like a super dark, I guess bead blast or dark wash, you know, with the brown micarta. I like the way this looks, but I don't want to have two dark wash or acid stone washed micartas competing against each other. Um, this is more accurate of what that crystallized blue polished blade thing would look like. Um, and then this one, of course, is full DLC with Timascus inlay. Um, shout out to the mayonnaise man. So full DLC Timascus, right? This is gonna happen. But the hard thing is like I don't want to have the same inlay because I don't want things to compete with each other, if that makes any sense. So I need help. I'm kind of rambling, but I need help with picking one micarta. Sorry, showing one micarta because I don't think I want to have all three of these this close together. You know what I mean? They're all kind of earth warm user tones, I guess, whatever you want to call them. And then out of these two, for plain Jane, I think I'm just gonna go with the polished or frosted satin. Um, so if y'all could vote real quick, just quickly type in the chat, which one do you think I should keep, and then I'll just keep working on different variants. So the dark wash green micarta, yeah, that's a good one. So these two are definitely staying for sure, and then one of these, which I'm leaning more toward the plain titanium for the you know plain Jane, whatever. Uh, just so that people can have something to mod or something like that. Yes, Gabe, they are frame locks. It's this, so it's just the Spectra V3. It's this knife with inlays. Um, so it'll be pretty sick. I've had this inlay design for a while. We're talking probably since last year, April or May. So no, almost exactly a year. Um, yeah, and then I just now finally decided to put the inlays in it because this knife was in talks with a company and then it fell through. So I decided to put the inlays in and then try to go for a third time. Dr. Drew, howdy. Or Drew Dude. Um, Green micarta, frosted, frame locks, yes. Green and frosted, okay. With the blue or frosted with the plain tie uh, inlay? Cheese, howdy. Fred, howdy. Palmer, howdy. I don't know what comics you are McFarlane and what aren't, so you might have to get a box with like 40 comics to sort through. Oh, Palmer, dude, if they're McFarlane, they'll say it on his signature. You'll see it. Um, but show side inlays too, right? Yeah, so the show side inlays are going to look it's not this, so I'm showing this side because it's the frame lock and you can see what the inlay is gonna look like. But so the line for the frame side is still the same. It's the same line, but it's just cut down because of the lock the lock bar. But yeah, I really dig this blue, which I shouldn't be so like adamant about it. You know what I mean? Because then I'll feel some type of way. But you can always get it anodized, right? So if I do plain, I could do I can obviously just get it anodized. So, and also things that it's hard to see as well. All the backspacers are going to match the material. So if I do Timascus inlays, it'll be Timascus backspacer. If it's micarta, it's going to be micarta backspacer. Um, that's the big idea there. Shout out Mayonnaise Man. Um, this was me chopping through Timascus. I mean, my goodness, this stuff is wild. Um, but yeah, also thought about just doing plain titanium, but it'd be super dull. So, Orbital, what's up, dude? Dude, by the way, let's do get this out the way. Shout out Orbital Knives. This thing is sick. The ergonomics are fantastic. It's an S45 called the Finax, right? I think so. I think that's right. But yeah, super sick. I really the ergonomics on this thing are incredible. It's a nice knife. And an S45. You don't really you don't see that often, if at all, you know what I mean? Super uncommon, that's for sure. But yeah, this is a great knife. Fornax. That's right. And these are these are titanium that are just anodized to look brass. But super sick knife though. I will never shout out the Mayonnaise Man. My bad. I just hit the camera. No, I did not go to Texas. But yeah, I wanted to. I thought about it, but just with the things going on with my pre-orders and some other things, I decided not to go. But I'll be in Atlanta for sure. All right. Yeah, check out the knife though. It's pretty sick. But yeah, so I need help deciding what other two configurations that I need to come up with. Ooh. Yeah, Fred, I'm just gonna walk to the Galleria. What I wanted to show y'all a knife. I just had it. There it is. No, I'm not local to Cobb. So I ended up getting a Pleroma. And I got it on Saturday. I think. I don't remember. Anyways, I got it recently though. Uh, but it's epic, and it was clearly a user, um, which is fine with me because that means I don't have to baby it. But it showed up, and I had to grab it because, as everybody knows, me and Isham were cool, and of course, Isham's design languages is just incredible. And I was talking to Sharif uh, about some stuff. Don't worry, that one's all used too. But anyways, relax. So the cool thing about these is that they are sub integrals, which means they're not complete integrals. So the whole spine is intertwined with these scales, which are overlaid. So this is part of this, and the same thing with the liner or frame lock is part of this. So it's an incredible feat in machining for sure. But it just goes to show the genius of Isham, and it's just a super cool thing to have. And I know there's other models that have the same thing, but like the Theta and the what was it, Thera, something like that. But those are harder to find. They're super limited, which these are all hard to find now. But I think they all share the same backspacer thing. I don't really remember, but these three for sure. And when I saw this, I had to get it because this part is connected to this, which is just insane. So these are inlay. This is inlay, and then it becomes, like an overlay. But like, you can see the seam right there. So it's not one piece, but it becomes part of the structure versus just being an overlay. So it's really cool. Same thing with this one. This is actually a structural scale, and like the bearings go in here. They don't go into this actual part. So super cool. How did you get the Pleroma? I saw the Pleroma come up for sale on the secondary, um, but it was actually one of my followers. So we talked and worked a deal. Yeah, I couldn't believe I found it either. It was like, as soon as I saw it, I just messaged them and said, "Hey, is this still available?" And they're like, "Yeah." I didn't even argue with price. I just said, "Hey, I'll take it," and went from there. So pretty neat. Cicero, howdy. But yeah, the first time I handled this knife, I know the ergonomics weren't for me, um, because it's a smaller knife and I have smaller hands. But this whole thing is weird. But I figured out you're supposed to, like, I guess you choke up on it, and then it's just like really comfortable. So like, cause this obviously it's like a sway back design, you know what I mean? So reverse grip is nice, but I think this is how it's supposed to be. That pretty cool. Oh, Malcolm, what's up, man? Shout out Malcolm, by the way. He sold me this beauty. Someone else wants to give a 120-pound German Shepherd Mastiff a pile of cuddle. A bath. Ooh, that's a big dog. Well, good luck. Have fun. Are you even heading home from... I only have the mini Therium. Oh, yeah. That's still a nice one, though. I have a... Should I just bring out the other items? Go from biggest to smallest, I guess. Whoop. Ta-da! It's a nice family. Or should I do it this way? I won't fit. Cool beans. What is the blade length on that? This one. Three inches. Cutting edge is just under 3. But the handle, so this is like a 3-inch blade, right? But the handle is like 3.9 inches. So a long time ago, when I was talking to Elijah about it, so this was all designed with math. So I don't know if it was like the golden ratio type math or whatever, right? But the blade to handle ratio is just absolutely insane for 3-inch and 3.9-inch handle. It's really wild. If you ever want to resell, just okay. Will do. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna put these away because this stream was just gonna be about my configurations, but gotta show off the new knives, right? The new knife day. And it flips really well, of course. But yeah, I think that's how you're supposed to choke up. That's like the comfortable grip. Juke. All right, so we have we said we would do micarta dark wash and the still much bleed. So all right, micarta green, the green micarta or the brown micarta, and then full dark wash. Okay. Then we said, of course, we're gonna do full DLC. Full DLC with Damascus. Are you making these knives yourself? I'm making fixed blades right now, and then this will be a new OEM. Um, but yeah, as far as making stuff is just the custom or the fixed blades. So, but yeah, I have surprisingly, a lot going on. Um, it's almost overwhelming, so I'm trying to just focus on one thing at a time. Uh, but this will be like what needs to be done now. So, this is what I'm focusing on at the moment. Very nice. Yeah, I don't have the third one in here, but I need to make the sheath for it. This is the first one. The second one sold, and then this one is spoken for as well, but ooh, but but yeah, this was the first one. It's just G10. There's no liners. The the second one was uh brown or bison jute micarta with green uh G10 liners, and it turned out pretty sick. Has a nice hollow ground blade. It's really thin. The stock was really thin. Um, this one's hollow ground as well. They're all hollow ground right now. But no, somebody said they wanted the first one, and I won't say no to that person, so they're getting it. Although this is my first attempt at Kydex sheath, and it's good. There's a little bit of rattle. I guess not. Um, but there is a little bit of rattle sometimes when it wants to. But the retention's really good. And then this is not too difficult, but it's very snug. Like, so the person getting it should be able to, um, you know, be easy to get in and out of the sheath. And then after I formed it, I specifically reheated just this part and made sure that this was pinched, and then sanded it, of course, and made sure the retention was really good. But yeah, you can see like it's scratching, but anyways, doesn't matter. But yeah, pretty cool. But that's the first one, and then the third one is already spoken for as well. And then I have another 4 feet of steel ready to go. I have some other handle material that I've bought. I need to buy some more. I just found uh some cool handle material was sent to me, so um I'll be checking that out as well. But yeah, that's a lot. It's cool though. It's fun, man. Nibsig, howdy. I kept my first one. Nice. Yeah, this one, it turned out really good. Like, not to be whatever, but I'm very happy with it. I mean, it's flat. There's no gaps in you know, in between anything. The sheath is fine. I made the kydex myself. I did the riveting and, um, so I'm really happy with the way it turned out. So why not, right? So yeah, I wanted to keep it, but it's all right. It's fine. I might try to do some do steel though, because this Pro Cut is nice. Don't get me wrong, but in my experience so far, because I live in a humid environment, um, if it's not like cleaned properly and then just whatever, it'll rust really quick. Um, and it's obviously just surface rust, but if it sits there for too long, obviously it's just gonna eat away the steel. So like I might have to refinish this one because this looks discolored to me. It doesn't look like it should. Why is this so warm looking? I was taking photos today, so my camera is not. There we go. That is better. So you can see there's like some like weird discoloration going on. But it's all right. You can just resand it and refinish it, so no big deal. Yeah, the Pops Pro Cut. I don't know if it's just a me thing. Maybe I'm not sanding them high enough for, it's just a learning thing. But I do put oil on them that is food safe. So after I wipe them down, clean them, I'll put the oil on it. It's a metal cleaner and then a rust inhibitor, and they're both food safe. And that's what I coat my knives with. And it still managed to rust. So I think there was water in the sheath. That could have been a thing. But anyways, lots of rambling. What's this one? Oh, okay. Hmm. Oh, I did this one too. This is micarta, but it's hard to see. But it's just like gray. I don't know if that's a real thing, but there's like fabrics in here, so I just put the fabric on there and uh, you know, drew it. This is it's called Adobe Fresco. And I usually use this one, which is Adobe Sketchbook, but with Fresco, you can do vector pens. So if you do the vectors, the like I'll show you for example. So like you can zoom in, right? And then give me a new layer. There we go. So you can draw on it and it's not pixelated, right? I mean, we're zoomed in 2000%. So, but if I go, you know, with the pixel brush, you can see that, right? So I like this because you can do the vector brushes and not be pixelated, and I can be super zoomed in because when I'm drawing, I like to be, I mean, I'm in here. Like I'm super close trying to erase all this stuff. And it's just cuz I don't want to do it in Fusion where you have to create like um your appearance and then edit the appearance, change the whatever. If you don't like the way it is, you can rotate it, things like that, which is great. But for me, this is just it's just easier because it feels like drawing, so it's just way easy for me to do it like this. So this was in Fusion, and then I screenshotted I downloaded the picture from Fusion, the render, and then send it to myself, and then just use this as a template to draw. So yeah. And I do this a lot. Just because I like to doodle, so but yeah. Here's the DLC configuration. So these are all the same angle, right? I just in Fusion I just changed the appearance. So this was satin, and then these are satin as well, the inlays, and then this is bead blasted. And then for the DLC one, I just put them all to polish DLC. Still kept the satin inlays. But see, now with this though, I can go in here, and do the Timascus and then just erase what I don't need. So just a neat trick, I guess. But yeah, dude, I did all the I did the still lock bar insert. I did at this cool angle. So it goes down like, do my vector. So the lock bar you can see right here, but it goes down like this. And that way it only takes this, it's still using just a square. Well, besides that part. But then this becomes the tab. So you don't have to use like some weird angle like most people do with this weird tab thing. Whatever, right? So basically you can just use a rectangle. It's a lot easier to do. But you can round it off, of course, But yeah, pretty sick. I did that. This one has internal stop pins. So it's not gonna be the same knife. It's gonna look like this, but it's not. So this one has a stop pin here, but because of that, this has to be a certain way, which this is not how I rendered the knife to begin with. I did it with the internal stop pins already. But so it's gonna look a little different, but basically it's the same knife, right? But you can tell that the blade width is a little different, and that's basically the only things that you're gonna notice is those two things. I think that's it. Well, besides the inlay, but internal stop pins and a tiny bit of a wider blade. So it's gonna be pretty cool once you're knocking these fixed blades out on the daily like it's nothing. I want you to make me a hawk bill for cactus pruning. Interesting. Well, dude, hit me up. You know what I mean? Or, well, just message me. And we can start designing something. Unless you already have a design. You've done Damascus before. What about Damascus blade with the same Damascus steel and pattern on the inlay? Black tie and black hardware. That would be cool. I haven't I've thought about doing Damasteel because I know they have it. But That would be pretty sick, though, obviously, because Damasteel is pretty epic. I'd have to think about that one, because that would be a sick option to have. Cutting a blade and an inlay from the same stock so that the panel light opens. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Thanks, the mat. I kind of like this one just because it's plain Jane, but with the micarta. Yeah. The bad thing about having this many like options is uh the fact that it's so hard to pick what I want to do. You know what I mean? Like if I was down to just like, okay, these are the two options you have. It's like, all right, cool, thanks. It's easy for me to decide. But now it's like, okay, now I have to do all these designs or patterns, whatever you want to call them. So, what's this one? All right, so this is the green micarta. So you see with the layers, so I just took green transparent and just put it over top of here. So that's how I've been doing that. Then I do like the way this looks though. Not with that handle, but I like this one, this dark kind of, that looks pretty cool. Do like a little bracket. Oh yeah. I should. That would be way better because then I wouldn't have to worry about it. I just, you know what I mean? Ugh. Yeah, that'd be cool. Too many layers here. I don't know what's what. See, I think I'm too caught up in this blue. You know what I mean? Like, even that looks pretty cool, right? Like, in with the matching backspacer? Like, come on, dude. Also, I don't know why the hardware looks different, but yeah, I'm just way too caught up on this blue, I think. Ooh. Do like a super dark wash with the black crystallized tie. What's this? All right, duplicate this one. There we go. Look at that. I love the blue. Have you thought about green? Matt. The Matt. Have you been here? I have green. I said it. Where'd it go? This one? Is this green? That is not green. I do have green. Here it is. But now I need to get rid of the dark. There's green. Oh, thanks, bro, and good night. I synced it. I synced it. You getting soft, man. I do think, I don't know, but like this super dark wash looks really good for sure. And I think this overall pattern, it's kind of hard to see because of the like the pixel things showing up on the camera. Like I wish there was a way I could just set it up to where you guys could I could screen share it. Um I don't know how to do that. Like this looks cool, but this idea with the green micarta is what I'm going for. Like that. Either this green micarta or the brown. But if I do the brown, I don't want to do the bronze. Does that make sense? Because then they're both roughly the same colorway. You have like bead blasted or dark wash with bronze, or this super dark wash with brown. So the green looks cool. Um it obviously this isn't, like I said, this is not what the it's gonna look like. Like this, my card is not gonna look like this. So these are all just my renders or my interpretation of what um I think they're gonna look like, right? Just a rough idea. So this looks wicked. So maybe I'll do this one, the full dark wash with green micarta and the green backspacer, right? Or because like I don't want to go too crazy. Um, because like I could keep the backspacers titanium, right? But then would I want to color match? That would be too difficult, right? To color match all this stuff. Um, so yeah, matching backspacer. So micarta. So I think this will be the green. I think we'll go with green dark wash, right? Green full dark wash. A bright green. Um, like the anodized, so like the crystallized tie. What is this? Go away. Um, I don't know if I can make it brighter without changing the actual layer. Yeah, so it brightens the whole layer. But I see what you mean, though. Do you have tracking for these yet? All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. You know what I mean? Get the mayonnaise. Quick, get the mayonnaise. Um, by the way, this is just foil. It's not even crystallized titanium. It's just foil. Suckers. Just kidding. Oh, maybe if I put it down here. No, it looks worse. Yeah. This thing is really cool. So if they have elements, right? Which you don't have this in the Adobe sketchbook, right? So you go to elements. Look at all this. They have comic book panels, fabrics, which is where I got like the micarta, right? like blue jean, whatever, whatever. There's like potato sack. I'm sure it has a name. They got some cool stuff, right? And then for the like the stonewash and whatnot, here's the metal. There's the foils. Um, brushed steel or brushed aluminum, whatever. There's some brass, I think. Um, that that that's cast iron. Look at that, cast iron. Um, yeah, they got some cool stuff. Oh, I didn't even see these. That would be cool for crystallized tie, I guess. Uh, but oops. Um, the wall. Look at that. This is what I use for my stonewash. They were like granite. This one's like a granite. Um, here's a granite with brick. Um, some more granite. Here's a red granite. See you later, Neil. Take care. So this is all just granite, by the way. I don't know if y'all know that. There's more granite. I could talk about granite all day. I know too much. Welcome to the bottom. Oh yeah, does that mean I have to send Stevie? Stevie, you're added to the back for the shipping. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just overwhelmed with the amount of like things I can do. And I just really do not want it to be repetitive. I wonder if I can make this background different. Can I not? Bro. The whole thing, bro. Jesus. I'm still learning this app, so it's it's kind of weird. That looks better, right? Now we're not competing with the weird accent. Don't let perfection be the enemy of good. Yeah, but see, like, uh, it's got to be good. So you're starting to do custom clip manufacturing also? So you did it. Splendid. No. So, and thank you, by the way. I got some Timascus in, and I figured why not, right? So this was my first attempt, and it worked out pretty good. The the hard part was this part, like getting it thin. So I did all that by hand. Well, I did some of it with the grinder, but it got very hot. I burned my fingers. So I did a lot of this by filing. So I did this with a chainsaw file, which is just a circular round file. But it's got super fine teeth. So I was able to get that nice like cut in there. If that makes sense. Um, if this would focus. But you can see like it's still kind of thick here. It needs to be worked out a little bit more. But this stuff gets ridiculously hot quick. Even just hand sanding, it would get hot. And then when I was filing it, that's what burned my fingers. Is my hand files got so hot, ended up burning my fingertips. Um, so this stuff's pretty wicked. So I don't want to do that again. And there's no tapping, which is epic. And then I have a torch, so I just, did that. The first time I burnt it, so, or it overheated, and it was like super dull, gray. So I had to go hand sand it again, re-torch it, and it turned out okay. But then I had to thin it out, so then I had to refinish it. And it's got little chamfers on it. Can't really see them, but they're there. But pretty cool. And I tried to do like millet. So I screwed it down and tried to take my counter sink and just try to cut it. Nope. It basically took everything and just like threw it. So I bolted everything down and I was able to get like the middle part like here, but anything that too far over, it would just grab it. So yeah, like I said, I had to do most of it by hand anyways. And with a grinder, I was too nervous about, just eating all of it. So I'd rather take my wins where I can get them. But I'll be using these as accents for the fixed blades, though, for sure. So I got another piece of material in. I got some mammoth molar in, and I don't think I want to use them together because that's kind of busy. But I definitely want to use them as accents. So the person who I got the mammoth from, he was like, "Hey, these broke, but I'm sure you can still use them." And I was like, "Sure, I won't say no." So, which they're solid right now, but and they're big enough for like both slabs are big enough for like one of these little handles. But I really don't like this sheath. Um, so anyways, I don't want to do too much, you know what I mean? Like with I don't want it to be gaudy, if that makes any sense. So just a little touch here, a little touch there, a little bolster goes a long way, you know? Or maybe I could do fancy like maybe not. I don't know. I won't do that. Oh, dude, that would be wicked. Is that the size you would want it, Malcolm? Because that's very little. But for pruning cacti, um, would you want it to be like pakal type style, so that way the edge is facing inward? Oh, that's that's wild. One of the best intros ever. Simply completely wearing leather, working it. Either actual. I got you. Excuse me. All right, we got nowhere on this stuff except for the green. We all agreed on one out of 6, which is great. Yeah, I'm so caught up on this blue, man. Burning to find you. Simply going. Oh. I was trying to figure out what sentence that meant. So yeah. Thanks, Matt. Uh yeah, just learn leatherwork. It's fine. No problems. You know what I mean? So the crazy thing was, like, I came up with names for these, like these configurations, with the help of some others. Um, but I think I'm so caught up on this blue because if y'all know, I'm a fan of Kiss, right? And the name for this configuration was Anomaly, which is one of Ace Frehley's albums, I think, was Anomaly. So I think that's why I'm so on this blue configuration, is just because of Ace Frehley. But like I said, if I want a true plain Jane version, I need to do away with it, and we just need to go with frosted satin, bead blast scales, right, and plain crystallized tie. I wanted to do just raw titanium inlay, like just bead blasted and matching. But if I'm doing all these other variants, it's like I don't think people are just gonna buy a plain Jane one, like with just plain tie inlays, because that would be no different than just getting, just getting this one, right? So, do y'all think I should just try to bring this one back with the and just have a different blade finish? Like no inlays, just a plain. This will be the PJ, right? And then I can do something different. I don't know. All I know is that this is going to compete with this one, and same thing for the blue crystallized tie in this configuration. So, okay, Malcolm. Yeah, like the inlays add a lot to this knife. Like I think that was the thing that was why this knife didn't succeed really, because it was just like, oh, it's just another, drop point, right? It's just another drop point frame lock, right? Who cares? But I think with the inlays, it's just enough spice. It just adds enough of that spice to go, okay, I like that a lot. Like, yeah, like exactly, Maddie. But would y'all prefer the crystallized raw titanium for the plain Jane? Or would you just rather it be I guess if I do blue, it's not going to be a plain Jane, technically. There's not much that looks bad on flat knife. Yeah. I think that's what my thing is. Like, everything looks good. And, like, like I said, I don't really want anything to repeat. But ultimately, I'm going to have, like, a repeating handle finish, whether it be a bead blast, tumbled. I could do a satin titanium frame, but with this knife being flat and like this is it's still slick and this is blasted. um I mean, it's not crazy when you lock in, but like with these being full polished, these are slick. Now once you get, you know, ergonomic on it or whatever, whatever, put it in your, it's fine, but just handling it and filing it, whatever, it's a slick knife. So I don't really want to do polish again. So, but it is an option. Although I'm doing the DLC, which is going to be like kind of slick as well. So, raw crystallized tie. Yeah, I think this is the better PJ version. It's tough. So, what blade finish? Would you like a belt satin blade finish? Do y'all think the frosted satin blade finish or a bead blast, stonewash? What do y'all think with this particular handle? Because right now, this is a stonewashed blade, but it's super light. See it? Kind of. Those are just the pixels, but yeah, I have the stonewashing on this one right now. And then without the stonewashing, it would look like that. Why is that so bright? Or brighter? There we go. All right, so this is like just a satin blade. Orange peel on the flat tie. Um, Belt satin. Orange peel. I'm not the biggest fan of orange peel textures. So I don't think about that, but it is an option for sure. I will say another thing about these prototypes as well that they did that I didn't do. So in my render, these are, I don't know if I cut them out like this, but they're cut out, right? But if you look at them closely, you can see these don't line up at all. And I'm like, I can't, like, why would you do that? And my render, it was perfect. And like I said, they changed the internals. Um, I don't get it, but and they changed the backspacer. I had a different backspacer too. This is the same, but it's not flat. So in order to fit more blade in, which is why this looks wider than this one, a smidge, because I have this milled out in the middle. So I took a ball end mill and just milled out the center, put two handle posts, because it ended up cutting the hole, or it cut a hole where the um what's that called? The standoff is. So you can see where that standoff is in the titanium. Well, it cut that through it. So in order to keep everything structurally sound, I put two pins in the frame. So there's a thick one right above the screw, and then there's a little one back here, and that keeps the everything from rotating, but also adds the stability that you would want. So yeah, with the internals though, it looks pretty sick. I think I actually have um I have the render on my phone. So for anybody that has CAD or anything like that, if you want to look at files, go on here. It's called Glovius, and you can check out your step files on here. And this is the DLC with, I put gray. It's supposed to be like reflective, but it's not. But anyways, so you can go in here and you can hide. This is the free version, but you can see, look at that. It's my internal stop pins or blade stops. Isn't that cool? And then you can see it looks like Ultim. That's the one thing I don't like. If you make something transparent, it looks like Ultim. But you can see those are my blade stop, or my uh whatever pins. So pretty neat things. But yeah, this looks so much better with the stop pins. It's so clean. Like, so with blade stops, it's not so much like, is it better? Is it worse? It's kind of like a whatever thing. Like, for this particular knife, we have the blade stops. But so it adds a ton of blade stability because the stop pin's actually on the blade versus touching the blade. So your left to right is way like less likely to happen. As well, on the bad side is if there's anything in here, or if it's bad milling, bad tolerances, it could get really gritty. It could be really bad. So they have to be really good action. But look how clean that looks, right? Like there's no, you know what I mean? It's just open. Obviously there's, the backspacer, but instead of looking, oh, there's just a random post. which is why with these, I like to see them sticking out, kind of like throwback stop pins where they're screwed in, like on customs, like how you can see that. That looks way cooler than this. So going this route with the, blade stops is really cool. So I'm really excited about these V3s. Um, especially seeing it made this particular way. Um, it's gonna be cool. Then there you can see the cutout. So anybody wants to know how to do shouldered stop pins, that's how you do it. And then of course I have it all chamfered. That way there's no hot spots because I'm smart. Bearing pockets, of course. But yeah, very excited about this. I should have one open, but I do not. Spectravision, almost like Spectravision. Ooh. The only thing, I don't know if this is gonna work, but like, where'd it go? If you see my pins cut into the actual inlays. So this is fine for the back spacer, but for the actual inlay itself, I don't know if that's gonna be okay. So we'll have to see. But y'all can see the inlays. You can see how they still mirror each other. They're just, this one's cut because of the frame lock. So pretty cool. I don't know. You know, I'm proud of my fusion work sometimes. That's definitely one of them. Plus, I've been working on this knife forever, so kind of one of my good brain children, I suppose. Seriously procrastinating this. So yeah, this is what I've been doing all day. Besides working on that clip. I think one of these took me like 2 or 3 hours. Maybe 2 hours. And then this one, the with the dark wash, like that one took like another 2 hours or an hour. Seriously, guys. If I had a glass of water, I'd be okay. A little parched from talking. Is there enough room to have a pocket in the frame going outward? Oh, what's up, Lou? What's up, dude? Is there enough room to have a pocket in the frame going outwards for the pen? Ah. I'm sure. I think I left like I think it's like 1 mil. Oh, by the way, Lou, this was that app I was telling you about. Oh wait, wrong knife. Don't look at that one. Uh, of course I have to use the DLC, the the DLC knife. But yeah, dude, this thing's pretty sick. Hold on, let me just use this one. So you can see, like, the only thing with the free one is that you can't do the Jake Howdy. You can't like rotate the parts, right? But you can analyze it. It tells you the specs. Like the blade width is 1 inch, right? The length 4 inches, which that's not true at all on this one. But anyways, I would hope they're not making 4-inch blades. But you can hide your, you know what I mean? You can see, like, you guys can see how I did the secured the scales on there with these posts. Um, it's pretty cool. But anyways, Spectra. Yeah, dude, I don't know if see, like, you can see, I think I'm getting too close. So yeah, this one cuts into the inlay just a smidge. So, but you can see I got these floating inlays. These do have screw holes in them as well. Because I wanted the inlays to be screwed in. Oh, it's not on this file. This is the old file. Sweet. Proceed. So I'm downloading the new Spectra, file. I effing dig the Spectra, bro. Thanks, man. Yeah, dude. So I'm trying to figure out what configurations I want. Like, it's tough, man. The only thing is I'm so impatient. Like, it takes a second for this thing to download. Is this the new one? Ah, yeah, it is. So we still went DLC, of course, but um so there are screws so that the inlays can be removed. I have 2 on the main inlay and then 1 on the small one. Yeah, this app is pretty cool. Definitely not the best, but it's neat. I do have the other configurations I had yesterday. Let me get those real quick so you guys can see them. All right, so here's the other ones I was trying to decide. Yeah, loot they are. Cuz I don't want, so with the Archeo, the one that you bought, um it's actually it's actually screwed in from the inside. Um See that? So you can actually, so when you take the knife apart, you unscrew these, there are threads that are glued into the carbon fiber, and they're like, it's like a gear almost. It's got like teeth and they press fit it into the carbon fiber. So these can be removed, and people were actually doing they were taking pen, like acrylic pen blanks, and making their own scales for the Archeos, which was pretty cool. But yeah, so that's kind of a similar idea that I want to go with these. Even though they're milled into it, they could just be, I guess, epoxied, since I'm doing variants and not really doing the whole scale thing like for options. But the idea was to have them internally, uh, screwed in. So here's that. If I do it this way, maybe be better. So here's that blue frosted blade idea that I had. The tip is chopped nice. You try to do internally mounted always. That's rough. I mean, it's smart, but it's hard. Like, depending on what you're doing. Like, obviously, like with the frame locks and whatnot, it's okay. But like, I keep doing this. Golly, you'll have to forgive me tonight. I didn't have enough caffeine today. So this is contour titanium inlaid carbon fiber, but the hard part is that it's also um you know internally pocketed or whatever, right? Inset liner locks. Jeez. So the what do they call that? The error, um like you can't make any mistakes milling this out, right? Because it's so thin. There's no room for error. That's what I was trying to think of. So yeah, these are all glued in, but I do prefer, with the like with these are just overlays essentially, or just scales, but obviously you can take these off. So yeah, this one, when I first did the Archeo, I didn't do fusion because I didn't know it at this point. Um, but I had, I was like, yeah, I want to do the inlays, and Artisan are the ones that decided to do the um screwed in ones. So that was pretty cool. These were just too thin to do, so they had to be epoxied. But yeah, I definitely like the, you know, removable way. That way you can just change it. Or, people can make their own. See, like this one looks so good with the dark wash. But like also this one. the crystallized tie. DLC. It's really dark looking on the screen, but yeah, I don't know, man. Stuff to think about. I did a Dune, like a camel carbon, or not camel carbon, but like fat carbon Dune, I think it is. So like with the acid wash or the dark wash looks pretty cool, but also like this ghost looking one, kind of cool, like a phantom one. Dark wash with micarta. Yeah, dude, check this one out. So this is the dark wash handle. Um there's the dark wash blade, and then I think we decided on green micarta, so that would be this one and this one. So yeah, green micarta with this like dark wash. You like the Dunes one, the satin one, or the dark wash one? I think I'll eventually do a poll once I get like the six kind of nailed down, and then maybe have like a couple wild cards that people can choose. But ultimately, there will be six different configurations, which is a lot, but um, it'll be cool. It'll be worth it, I think, to do that. The satin one, okay. Dunes, carbon. So this was the one I was working on yesterday. Was this picture, and then I was using that as the DLC. Or no, not that one. It was these two. So that, if I could put it in frame. So this was the DLC one. But I like this kind of gray, like monochrome gray thing going on. But then I think that would like just be bead blast. And then what inlays did I go with? So here was undo whatever that was. Here's the Timascus inlays. Which are kind of bright, but There's the micarta. Oh, there's the dunes. It's not gonna be that bright though. Maybe something like that. A little darker, maybe, but yeah, I have too much fun on this thing, just making these like random, you know, random builds, I guess. Dark washed with the blue crystallized tie. That one would be pretty wicked looking. But like an apocalyptic plain Jane. Is that a thing? Oh, goodness. Ugh. Yeah. Dude, Loot, one day I think we should do a like just a fusion stream, me and you. Just talk about fusion. Like a master class, you know what I mean? Like the way you do things and the way I do things is like it's similar but different, of course. Just do all of them. I know, right? It's tough, man. Cuz like the way I had them before was like, okay, here's a dark and here's a light. Same inlays. But then it was like I don't really want to compete. I don't want people going, "Well, I like the inlay, but now I don't know if I want to go with, you know, do I want to go dark wash or do I want to go with satin or do I want to go DLC or do I want to go frosted?" Instead, it's like, "Oh, I like this inlay and then but maybe I don't like that finish or uh, whatever the case may be, but you can't please everyone for sure. But it's just part of the fun, I guess. But then with something like this, you can anodize it any color you want. Or, if you buy two of them, you can swap the inlays or what have you. What's up, bro, KZ? How are you? I don't know. But, alright. I think I'm going to stop with this for the night. Yeah, I'll just get back to that whenever, I suppose. But yeah, I'm super excited that to bring the Spectra back though. I would say this polished blade is so fingerprint magnet. Put this dirty cloth down. Is that better? Still so bright. Yeah. I did pretty good on the clip, I think. It's a little wider down here. I could probably bring that in a little bit. But not bad, not bad. Yeah, I'm really excited about these new prototypes. The H2Os, by the way. So I'm not gonna publish the stream, but I'll bring it up since I'm not publishing this. So the H2Os are in production, right? Thank you. But the thing is the factory messaged me today and said, "Hey, you know, we're trying our best to get you these knives before Blade Show." I don't know if they can deliver that, but that's what they're telling me. Which means from the day they told me they were going to start manufacturing to the end of May, right, is going to be 75 days exactly. Right? Or yeah, that's what it was so yeah, from that day to end of May is 75 days to finish the knives. Not only to finish the knives, and have them delivered to me before the end of May is a crazy thing to tell somebody, right? Now, me as a business and as somebody who has, done this a few times, I don't think they can deliver that. That's why I'm not going to make that public. But most of y'all have backed this knife, so it's just something I'm telling y'all. So yeah, they're gonna try their best to give me these knives before Blade Show. So I can appreciate that. That I can at least say publicly. I can say, hey, they're gonna try. But whether or not they do is a different story. So yeah. I'm pretty excited though. I mean, these things are nice, man. Another thing I'm kind of worried about is I've already verified everything with them, and I'm like, hey, double check, make sure that we're using the right file, make sure that it's the new pocket clip, the new pocket, what's this thing called? Plate, I don't know, filler tab. Make sure that's all correct, because that's the biggest thing is this new pocket clip and the placement. So I moved the screw holes up and I changed the whole pocket because we're doing the internal, or we're doing the Forest pocket clip. So yeah, these things are guillotines. So that's one, and this is the other one. This is the one I've been carrying, and they're both crazy. Knife Nut, what's up? Baptism, howdy. I don't know if I said hello, sorry. But howdy. Yeah, it's not under my control, but they tell me one thing and it's something different, that's not just, it is what it is. But yeah, this thing is going through the ringer. See, it's all scratched up. But I'm pretty excited. But yeah, but today they're like, hey, can you confirm everything? And it's like, I confirmed everything Monday, like last week. Why are we asking me to confirm this again? That should not be happening. And the payment was already sent. So very strange, but I'd rather it be double, triple checked even. Do you know what I mean? Just to 100% be certain that what I'm paying for and what the factory is going to put time and effort into is going to be the right knife. So for sure happy about that. But I'm very excited. I went through it and made sure all the changes were written down, were there, and they all were, which is great to see because the blades are getting wider too, but only a smidge. But it's gonna make it look really good with the wider blade. It's not gonna be too crazy because there's a lot of room in there still to get a, a little bit of a wider blade, but I'm increasing the blade width mostly to get rid of the the choil, the smile, and I've changed the plunge grind. So the plunge is going to be different to also help um, eliminate this smile that's happening here. So fingers crossed that that happens. If not, sorry, but um, I did it on my file. That's all I can say. But yeah, I'm really excited about this. I'm really happy too because this thing was stressful. Oh, and I finished the boxes. I don't know if I even showed y'all the boxes. I posted one photo of it. Um, but you guys get a nice little secret. So, okay, this is the box, right? This is the wrong box. Oh, it's on my tablet. Ugh. Why don't I just show you on the big screen instead? Come on. This thing does not like me a lot of the time. There we go. Wham. It is backwards. I thought I fixed that. I could have swore I fixed that. Anyways. Alright, so this is the box, right? So we have the top of the box. And as you can tell, it's got like this watercolor effect going on. I don't know if y'all can see that. Just pushing random buttons here. So we have the watercolor look. It says Mallery, of course. And then when it's folded, it's supposed to be like this. So it's gonna say at Mallery Designs, YouTube and Instagram. These are easier to see in person, but yeah. But here's the cool thing, okay? When you open the box, you guys are gonna see this bad boy right here. I drew this. Okay. This is also what the sticker is gonna be, but I thought this would be super sick to have when you open the box. This is gonna be the first thing you see on the where the top of the lid is when you open it. This will be on the inside. And I really dig it. So once again, we have the watercolor thing going. But it basically like you guys are getting a print. So I mean, it's essentially the same thing as the sticker, but this is going to be a huge, well, however big the box is, but like the inside of the box. And I signed it, of course. But how cool is that? H2O, baby. And I don't even know if I've shown this particular one yet. But I think this is really cool. Do I feel like a bit of a narcissist having my name so big on the box? Not really, because my company is Mallery Designs. Plus, I spent weeks on this font, so no, it's not narcissistic at all. Yeah, I dig it. I think this is really cool. This is kind of a secret. I haven't really posted this. Um, I haven't posted it anywhere, actually. This is the first time I'm showing what the inside of the box is going to look like. But, yeah. Exactly what a narcissist would say. It's true. But, yeah. I really like this. Like, this print idea is so cool. Now, it'd be a lot of work because I have to do COAs. But I might number these things because why not? Instead of numbering the COAs, just number the boxes, but people might throw those away. Does the logo sit on a knife okay? What logo? Yeah, I'm like happy about this because I had to draw this. This took a couple of days to draw. And then I was like, yeah, this is sick. This took, I think, 4 days to draw this thing because I had to go in. Look at that. You can see it's like, you know what I mean? I didn't pretty this thing up at all. Oh, baptism. I don't put my name on the knives. That's just my business name. Only the logos go. I mean, like for my OEM stuff, it's just on the pivots. And then the Spectra was on the pocket clip. And then everything else is just it's just the M logo. So I'm not putting my Mallery is that's too I don't like billboarding like that. I'll just do my logo, that's fine. But this I figured this was like super appropriate because on my normal boxes I have this. So this is the M I used on my OEM stuff. So this was the Forest V2 box. The V1s were this way and where the M was up here. And Yeah, this is pretty cool. I thought about doing this again, but since I had total freedom to do the entire box, that's why I decided to do this like watercolor like splatter thing. So I had to do all this stuff too. So this is all done by me. It's not like whatever. So yeah, this box I spent maybe like 30 minutes to an hour just on these logos. So, yeah, pretty cool. But yeah, I love that. You can just see all the like the little pencil lines. So it's not pretty at all. I could have done the super fine line work, but the vote was to do like super rough, like pencil lines. So, Ron, what's up, man? So, yeah. Anyways, lots of exciting things happening though. So, do I have anything else to show? No, that's it. But yeah, so I'll be getting the new patches, which will be the H2O, the new stickers. Um, the patches will be the molecule, by the way, and then the stickers are gonna be the H2O. That thing that's gonna be on the box. Well, any final questions or concerns before we call it a day? Lancelot Leather finished this sheath for the sassy today. That's exciting, dude. I thought about messaging him and asking Lancelot if he liked it. You know what I mean? Like, hey man, do you like it? I thought that'd be kind of weird, so I didn't. But I would have liked to know what he thinks, because he can be like, this is terrible. You know what I mean? But dude, I'm excited, man. I hope you like it. Oh, good night, everybody. We're just getting off. You know what I mean? What's up, Kyle? How are you doing, sir? If you have time and are interested, put me on your books. Oh, well, for sure, dude. I mean, if I'm gonna do that one, the cacti pruner, cactus knife, then you know, for sure. I need to finish this batch up and then I'll start grinding the neck. I told Shane, I'm like, dude, I need to get close to finishing these and then um I'll cut the next batch, send them out, finish these up while he's heat treating those, and then get that cycle going. You know what I mean? So Once I get close to finishing, like maybe when I have 3 knives left or so, um, I'll start cutting the next ones and then get everybody lined up on that one. So for sure. Kyle, you missed it, man. I just showed the packaging for the H2Os. So, and I'm not publishing this, so you're gonna, you know, you're gonna miss out. Goodness. Yeah, he showed us all his package. I won't rewind. Thanks for the heads up. Yeah, that's right. Don't do it. You're not allowed to rewind. I wish I could monetize so I could just spam y'all with like ads for no reason. Anytime somebody asks about tracking, I'll just like ad. You know what I mean? That'll be the word. I'll have like the bot, whatever the YouTube bot's called, and spam ads anytime the word package shows up or tracking. Vulcans are pretty sweet looking. I mean the I like the way they look for sure. Um I haven't handled one. I like the way they look. Kyle, he's talking to you, but um I dig them. I think if you were to get one, I would probably go with the like the bar lock one, just because of how everything looks aesthetically for me. Um, but you know, you can't go wrong with a good frame lock. So, Jesse, howdy. So I could super chat. See, that's one thing. I'm not gonna do monetizing just so I don't get questions like that. People paying for ridiculous things, or just so they can. No, I'm not gonna say it. Yeah, no. So I'm not monetizing. So good luck with that. There's a moth at my window. What are you doing, man? Anyways, yeah, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe, please. If I hit 1,000, if I hit 1,000 subs, I'll do a giveaway. Just saying. Just saying. You get one of these things. You get this one. It's used. You know what I mean? I'll give away this knife right here. Somebody even broke the tip on it. I had to resharpen it. So, had to reprofile that thing, and this is the one I'll give away, right? Tons of scratches. Nasty micarta, you know? Looks like it was ran through the red clay. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'll give this one away. Just for y'all. I'm joking, of course. It'd be a new one. I like integral knives. I have a lot of them. What is it good we suggest I should get? It's funny you should ask that very question. I have an integral. Burning Stable. What is up, dude? This Clayton. Howdy, Clayton. How are you, sir? So this is my design with Terramundi, aka Beyond EDC. Um, I have these on my website. Website's in the description. Um, if one of the mods could go to my website, please, and link the array, I would greatly appreciate that. If not, I'll do it. It's fine. Um, but yeah, so this is an integral. What's up, Dylan or Dylan? Yes. It's the first one. DYLAN. Yeah, I got you. I have to type it in. You are needy for some undergaze. Hey, mods. Well, I have mods for a reason, Kyle. But you're just mad that you're not one. So, it's fine. Got him. Oof. See, Kyle, if you were a mod, you would have linked it. I know you would have. You know you would have too. Thanks, Stevie. Thanks, Stevie, and not Kyle. Yeah, there's only one way to spell it. I'm named after the Dylan from 90210. I'm not a mod. Well, you gotta pay, you know what I mean? They all paid to be mods. I'm just saying. That's $100. So you can ask Stevie and Loot. It's either that or you know what I mean? You know what I mean? 100,000. I use my mods all the time. That's right. Mods are great, man. Did you? Oh, thanks, Loot. You did. I didn't see it. Thank you, Loot, for posting the link as well. Thanks, Ronald. I will say it's a smaller knife. Yeah, I'm named after Dylan from 90210. It's true. And my twin is named after Dalton from Roadhouse. So, what's a knife a lot of people have that a pyrite, right? This is a common knife, I think. I don't know what common knives are nowadays. Mostly because I don't have them, but in that case, can one of your mods? Who is this, bro? Mods. Somebody put him in timeout. You know what I mean? Time this guy. But yeah, this is a small knife. So this is a 3 point. It's a 3.3 inch blade or 3.2 inch blade, and like a four. Um, almost. It's a little over a 4 inch handle. So, oh, got him. Wow. Yeah. It's integral. It's got a nice like shadow boxed inlay. It's pretty wicked. I always tell people it's a small knife, and then when they get it, they're like, it's bigger than I thought. But yeah, so this is a 3.5 inch blade and 4 1/4 handle. And you can see it's kind of close, but not really. Like, it's closer than I thought. But yeah, here's another one. This is a 3.5 inch blade as well. And almost 4.5 inch handle, maybe. Got him. But yeah. But anyways, and these were only limited to 200 units. So there's not that many out there. They came out in 2000, I think 22 or 23. I don't remember. Um but yeah. But anyways, yeah, there's an integral. What's another good integral that is worth mentioning? Um I'm so out of the loop. I don't even know like what good integrals there are. Vulcan is good because obviously that's American made, custom, you know, type of deal. So that's pretty cool. Um Clayton, take care, man. Thanks for stopping by, dude. Yeah, I don't even know what good integrals are out there now. So yeah, I have a few in stock, um, but definitely not a lot. All right, well, I'm probably gonna call it a night. It's 2 a.m. So, but yeah, appreciate y'all. Um, appreciate y'all stopping by and hanging out. Uh, but yeah, hope y'all have a good night. The squid surf is a nice interval. Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Right? Is that what I'm thinking of? The button lock one? I don't know. Yeah, thank y'all for tuning in. I know this stream was not planned. Um, but yeah, So thank y'all for stopping by, of course, and hanging out, talking, and trying to help me with things, and, you know, stuffing things and mayonnaise and whatnot. But yeah, good night, everybody. Take care. Be safe. Happy Monday, even though it's Tuesday now. Take care. Bye. Bye. How long have you had the henna? You know what I mean? All right. It's not a cultural thing, so it's not a henna tattoo, but yeah, good one. All right. Goodbye, y'all. Take care. Good night.